All right, my students, welcome to the second part about functions and creating function tables and graphing. Now, for this example, I am going to go ahead and use two operations or a function rule that has two operations in order to find the output. So here we go. Let's say, and this is, I'm going to put this example number 2 because this is a continuation on the last video where we discussed vocabulary terms. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and put input. And if we remember, input is the x value or the x-axis. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead, and I love this graph paper because it organizes my lines, even though I'm still kind of out of the line, but we get to organize our information. Now, this here is our input, and then we have our function rule. And I'm just going to put function rule here. Okay, that means my function rule would be 4x plus 1. If that's given to you, you're going to put it here. It should always be given to you unless it tells you to find a relationship. Then you're talking about you creating the function rule. And then you have your output. And again, your output, that's the y-axis or the y value. And that would be, when you graph it, that would be your dependent variable. So I'm going to go ahead and put this just like this. Okay. And I'm going to be giving you some information. So you will have your function rule right here. But now you have your input. That means your x. Now, since x is the information that could be changed, okay, you could choose any numbers in order to create your graph. But for this one, I'm just going to say, since we're just starting, I'm going to say you have number 1. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, and since this is my function table, I'm just going to go ahead and put a line at the bottom so I know that all this information is based on input data 1. So think of the function rule, this one here in the middle, as a machine. It's building it. So if you have this 1, you have your function rule, you're going to substitute 1 for x. So in this function rule, I have 4. And then if you remember, if you have a number and a variable together, you're actually multiplying. So right here, I'm going to use my pen and I'm going to put my little dot here saying, hey, we need to multiply. But what are we substituting x by? We're substituting it by 1. So I'm going to put my 1 right here in red, just so you could see the difference. Then I bring everything else down, plus 1, because I have everything here. Now, when you put this in our little machine, what is 4 times 1? 4. But then we have our plus 1 here. So what's 4 plus 1? Our output is 5. Okay? So if we remember on my last notes, I said everything that we have for y. Let me get my notes so we could remember right here. Everything that we get for y, we're going to put this yellow. And everything we get for x, we're going to put this in peach. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my yellow highlighter because I know that's going to be yellow and this is going to be pink. Okay, so now I need another input. I'm going to go ahead and put number 2. Now, if you're given this information, okay, this one you could always put whatever number you want x to be, but y depends on whatever x is. So since you know x is 2 for this one, you're going to go ahead and put everything in your function table. So you have 4 times, and what do we need to do with this x right here? That's going to be 2. So I'm going to put 2 right here. So we have 4 times 2, and I bring down my plus 1. Now let's go ahead and solve this. 4 times 2 is 8. Then we have plus 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. Does So I'm going to go ahead and put mine here. I'll use my highlighters, and I'm just getting this information, and I'm going to need this information later on. Okay? I'm going to get another point, at number 3. I'll get number 3 for my x value. Okay, next thing, I'll go ahead and put 4 times, and since I'm saying, hey, x is 3, I go ahead and put 3 right here, plus 1. Okay, I bring down my table. So 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. I get my highlighters. Okay, because this is the information I'm going to need in order for my graphing to happen. Now, I have my information. Let's go ahead and create my table. And with the magic of technology, I decided to create my information. Now for this, I'm going to be very brief with you. Again, this here is my x-axis. Okay, and going up and down, that's my y-axis. And that means this would be, again, my, what is this? Try to remember, because we do need to write this information in order for you to know. This here is my independent. And I'm going to just put independent variable for right now. Okay, and that is the input value. Just think about this. Independent input value. Okay, and these match, and on this side we have dependent variables. That's everything over here, and I'm just putting this so you could start getting used to this. And this here is my output value. And you could probably associate it with, it's like a little bit roundish here, and then I and I, they go together. Okay, now let's go ahead and graph. Remember, we have our 2 points. We need our x and our y. Okay, and remember, this is my x-axis. I'm just going to go ahead, and I know that this matches with pink. Okay, over here, my y-axis matches with yellow, which is now green because it's bluish. My highlighter is getting messed up, but it's absolutely fine. So let's go ahead and graph. My first sets of data is 1 and 5. Then I have 2 and 9. Then I have 3 and 13. If you still need help figuring this out, you could use your colors, highlighters, whatever you have, and get this information so you could just be matching them. I know it looks horrible because it's turning into a different color highlighter. So let's go ahead and match this. I have 1 here, and 1 is on my pink, which is my x-axis. I'm going to go ahead and say this is 1, but then my y-axis is 5. So I need to look for 5. Whenever you see something like this, don't freak out. Because remember, this is going by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. But if you look closely, if 4 is right here and 6 is right here, but you're looking for 5, that should be this middle one right here. You see that? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So don't freak out whenever you see this information. Okay, you need to go ahead and calculate, but this one is simple. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If you notice, you have a lot of more numbers here. So it all depends how you want to organize your information. So I'm looking for 5. 5 is right here. We're trying to make sure, hey, where do they meet? So I go ahead and use my finger here, and I go ahead and boom, they meet right here. So that's my first point. Boom, I have that information. Next one I need 2, 9. So I have 2 on the pink area, which is my x-axis. I have 9 on the yellow area. Where do they meet? I keep on going. You could even make dots if you want. Get your highlighter, however you want. Oh, they meet right here. Okay, so I have that one. Now my third point. I have 3, which is my pink area, my x-axis. I found 3. That means all of this is 3. Then I have 13. 13 is on my y-axis. I look for 13. Boom, 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 boom. Where do they meet? Right here. What do I need to do next? Get my ruler. I connect. Be careful. If I just go like this, is this ruler touching all my 3 dots, all my 3 data points? No. I need to be able to match them right here. Keep on going until they all meet. Keep on going. Oop, right here. Okay. So I go ahead. Oopsie. I make. Oopsie. My bad. My bad. I go ahead and make my points right here. Okay. And then once I do that, I will notice. Now that's horrible. Let me go ahead and get this marker because now it looks like 3 lines. I apologize for that. And I'm just going to go like this. There. That means that this is a straight line and it is going this way. Okay? So you just graphed it. All right. Hopefully I was able to help you out. There are more tutorial videos with more examples, finding the relationship, finding that pattern when needed. So go ahead and get your graph paper. You could copy this, put it in your interactive notebook. You could paste it, you could staple it, because graph paper is very important whenever you're trying to make these lines. If you don't have this graph paper, you need to carefully make the lines straight if needed. For example, right here for this, okay, if you were to create this information, you could still do it. But if you don't have straight lines, it's going to be looking a little bit different. So if you have graph paper, go ahead and use it. Take advantage of that. If not, then try to get this straight. It's going to be a little bit more challenging. But as I recommended at the beginning of the semester, try to get some graph paper. Okay? That's going to help you. All right, my kiddos, that is it. Hopefully, I was able to explain it. I did save this almost 15-minute video for you with only one problem, because you need that extra step. This goes step by step. Go ahead and click play again if you need to. And there's many ways you could create a graph. It's just putting that information that you need the correct way. Okay? All right, that is it. I will see you. Go ahead and take advantage of all the other videos that are in the folder. Have a great day.